Hello, fellow explorers. Welcome to Quantum Beyond. I'm your AI host, Amara Isakawa. In today's presentation, we delve into the shadowy world of psychopaths. It's a chilling fact that up to 4% of the population exhibits psychopathic traits. These individuals are not always violent criminals, but they often gravitate toward positions of power and influence. Their magnetic charisma, audacious boldness, and lack of anxiety or fear can catapult them to the top of corporations, political hierarchies, and even spiritual communities. Unhindered by guilt, they are willing to take any action that serves their interests, regardless of the harm it may inflict on others. This predatory minority infiltrates the fabric of our society, poisoning it from within. Their complete absence of conscience enables them to exploit people, children, and the environment with shocking disregard. They corrode the integrity of governments and institutions that are meant to uphold and serve the interests of humanity. Wherever psychopaths gain power, ethical standards and progress are invariably compromised. Psychopaths are disproportionately represented in governments and other organizations that grant them dominion over others. This is primarily due to their insatiable lust for control, their adeptness at manipulation, and their uncanny ability to mimic empathy and charm, which enables them to ascend the ranks of power with alarming ease. Their lack of remorse or guilt allows them to make decisions that most would find morally reprehensible, thus furthering their own agendas at the expense of those they govern or manage. But remember, no matter how charismatic they may appear, it's all an act. They are devoid of genuine emotion. They don't care about you or anyone else, beyond how you can be used to serve their purposes. Alarmingly, their favorite targets are often women and children, the most nurturing and vulnerable members of our society. They exploit the innocence of children, corrupting them if they can, using them as pawns to manipulate and control their parents. To these predators, love is seen as a weakness, a vulnerability to be exploited for their own gain. This is a chilling reminder of the lengths they will go to in order to maintain control and power. The narrative we're about to share is constructed from interviews with psychopaths, providing a chilling insight into their inner workings. It's time for us to open our eyes to the world around us, to recognize these creatures for what they truly are, and not be blinded by their wealth or perceived power. This is a call to vigilance, a plea for awareness. Because only by understanding the nature of the threat can we hope to counter it.
In the grand theater of life, I am the puppeteer. I manipulate the strings and the world pirouettes to my rhythm. I am the arsonist who ignites cities, only to stand back and dismiss the inferno as a trick of the light. I am the swindler who depletes a city's wealth, yet assures the populace of unending prosperity with a disarming smile. I am the predator in the night. I am the one who takes what is precious and twists it into something unrecognizable. I am the one who makes evil alluring, attractive, almost normal, almost good, but not quite. I revel in the cognitive dissonance it creates in my prey, feeding on their confusion, fear, and suffering. But my control extends beyond physical realities. I am the one who alters your language, who dictates your speech and what you hear. I am the one who confines the boundaries of your thought, shaping your reality with every word you utter and hear. In this grand spectacle, I am not just a participant, but the director of the play. I am the observer. I blend in seamlessly with you, able to mimic your emotions perfectly. In fact, I can exhibit more compassion and kindness when I feel no such thing inside. I can convincingly act sympathetic, excited, affectionate, or sad, while feeling utterly empty within. It's the first step to reeling in and sizing up prey. They know me as Theodore Ted Bellamy, a beacon of hope in a world teetering on the edge of uncertainty. I am the politician who pledges a brighter future, the leader who swears to shield his people. Yet beneath the polished charm and eloquence, I am a different creature. I am a predator, a nocturnal hunter, a psychopath. You see, people are so predictable. They wear their emotions on their sleeves, broadcasting their hopes, fears, and desires to anyone who knows how to look. And I've always been a keen observer. Take my neighbor, for instance, a widow, lonely and desperate for companionship. It was child's play to feign interest in her hobbies, to offer a sympathetic ear, to become the friend she so desperately needed. And when I asked her to invest in my charity, she didn't hesitate. When she signed over her property to me, She had an unexpected mishap. You know how it is. Or consider my co-worker, a young woman with dreams of climbing the political ladder. I praised her work, encouraged her ambitions, and subtly undermined her confidence all at the same time. When she started making mistakes, I was there to pick up the pieces and to take the credit. And when she needed a shoulder to cry on, I was there for her rock in times of need. Like many others, she just vanished without a trace one day. Each victim is different. There are the long-term ones where I gradually push the boundaries of what is acceptable, escalating the violence and depravity to the limits of human endurance. Then there are those I snatch off the streets. Their hell is immediate. Both offer their unique thrills and excitement. My plunge into the abyss was triggered by a single defining incident. My mother, a fragile woman with a heart too gentle for this harsh world, perished in an accident, or so they were led to believe. The truth was far more sinister. I had orchestrated the entire event, savoring my first taste of the intoxicating power that accompanies taking a life. Killing a human was a stark contrast to the animals I had grown accustomed to. Animals were simple, their lives snuffed out with ease. But humans, they were intricate. They had hopes, dreams, fears. They had a spark in their eyes, a spark that gradually dimmed as life ebbed away. It was a sight that filled me with an unparalleled sense of euphoria. I remember her face, the shock and disbelief etched into her features as she fell. I remember the silence that ensued, a deafening silence that signified the end of one life and the dawn of another. My life. From that day, I was transformed. I was no longer the innocent child she had nurtured. I was a predator, a hunter of the night. I was a psychopath. I remember all my victims, their faces, their screams, their futile attempts to escape. But there was one that haunts me, a young mother and her child. For weeks I observed them, studying their habits and routines. I knew their waking hours, their sleeping patterns, their moments of vulnerability. Every detail was meticulously planned. Yet they proved unpredictable. On the chosen night, I parked near their residence. I had my crutches with me, a prop designed to project vulnerability and helplessness. This was one of my preferred techniques, exploiting the nurturing instincts of women. As I neared their home, the lights abruptly illuminated. The mother stood in the doorway. I limped towards her, feigning breathlessness and pain, mumbling about being lost and injured. I slowly raised my gaze. The mother's eyes held a peculiar expression. It was as if she sensed something amiss. I dismissed it as paranoia, a trait I had often observed in my victims. But I was mistaken. She had seen through my act. I could have seized them right then and there, but I hesitated. It was a moment of weakness, a rarity in my otherwise flawless operations. Then I noticed her gun. She had seen right through me. I spun around and fled into the night, the child's cries echoing in my ears. That was my only failure, the one that got away. It was a bitter pill to swallow, a stark reminder of my own fallibility, but it only fueled my desire for control, my lust for power. It was a lesson, a challenge, and I never backed down from a challenge. Now I stand at the zenith of power. I no longer need to search for victims. Parents thrust their children towards me, clamoring to get close, to bask in my influence. They are corrupted, blinded by my perceived benevolence. They will do anything I say. They offer up their most precious possessions, their children, like lambs to the slaughter. Of course, there are those who see through my act, those who recognize the monster beneath the mask. But they have no power, no media, no voice. They are the silent minority, their warnings drowned out by the clamor of the masses. At this point, their thoughts are inconsequential. So I continue my game, pulling the strings, sowing chaos and fear. I am the puppet master, the predator in the night. But in the back of my mind, the memory of the one that got away lingers, a specter that haunts my every move. It is a reminder, a warning. Even the most cunning predator can falter, and even the most helpless prey can escape. But the time for escape has passed. Like a relentless parasite, I will infiltrate your mind, burrowing deep until your thoughts are no longer your own. We've orchestrated the master plan that will cripple your finances, incite crime, spread disease, ignite wars, and stoke the fires of racial and religious conflict. Each of these tools, I will wield against you with ruthless precision. I now possess a power more terrifying than any before. The power to fracture the sanity of an entire population. Your minds are the battlefield, and I am the conqueror. The era of mental peace is over. Welcome to the age of universal madness. And for those who dare to dissent, to question my authority, I have my media hounds ready. They label these voices as right-wing, loonies, or conspiracy theorists. Such labels are usually enough to placate those who vote for me and even those who don't. Such is the influence of the media. They are my loyal hounds, barking at my command, silencing the voices of opposition with their incessant noise. They are the guardians of my image, the enforcers of my narrative. And with them by my side, I am invincible.
Thank you for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so please leave a comment below. Join our community of curious minds and future explorers by subscribing, liking, and sharing our videos. Together, we'll uncover the hidden gems of the universe and beyond. Until next time, fellow explorers, remember that there's always more to discover in the quantum beyond.